Good morning, students. This is Dr. Mallika, and our today's topic is strategy towards exams. Role of major Samhita. So, being a student of Ayurveda, if you are deciding to proceed towards your goal towards PG, then you should know some strategy. As many students are preparing for AIPGT exam, but few got selected. So, to keep you motivated, your goal and the question that why you are proceeding towards PG will keeps you motivated always. Then, why I am talking about strategies? Why strategies are important? So, whenever you are moving towards your goal, you should know that what's the syllabus, what's the weightage of percentage of the syllabus, and which are the recently repeated areas. Then, if you're making a particular division of your syllabus, you will find there is a major role of major Samhitas. So, major Samhitas includes Charak, Shushrut, and Vagbhata, right? Then, 70% area of your syllabus covered by these three Samhitas only. Why I am saying 70%? So if you're going and checking your Charak Samhita and you're checking your previous year questions, you will be finding most of the questions are from Charak Samhita only. Like almost in every exam, 40% questions has been covered by Charak Samhita only. Then how you are going to prepare with your Charak Samhita? If it is containing a 40% weightage, then you have to divide your time with 40% to only Charak Samhita, right? Now this Charak Samhita, entirely it's important, but especially it's some sthanas are very important. For example, Sutra Sthan and Viman Sthan. These are confusing as well. So divide your time period in such a way that in morning hours, like for example, if you are waking up by 5:30, then divide your initial 3 hours of the day to dedicate your initial 3 hours directly to Charak Samhita or Shushrut Samhita. Then, as I told you, 40% area has been covered by Charak and almost 20% area has been covered by Shushrut Samhita. So if you're going towards this 60%, you can easily, if you can score 100% in the 60%, you can easily get a good seat or a government college for your PG. Then how you are going to make the strategies? Like as I told you, if you're going with Charak, see the previous year question, the pattern of previous year questions. In previous year questions, there are directly questions from the Samhitas only. 3 or 4 types of questions which can easily make the marks. First is direct questions. Simple direct questions are there from Charak Samhita. For example, the chapter number 5 from Sutra Sthan, it's having a lot of questions. Like, for example, this question is very repeatedly being asked that which of the food we shouldn't consume on a daily basis. So that shloka in which Yavaka is there, Yavaku is the answer for that. So if you are remembering some simple shlokas or some areas from your book, then it will be very easy to answer these shortly, smartly asked direct questions. Then next kind of questions comes from Charak Samhita is directly from shlokas. And shlokas are very important. Few shlokas only you have to remember, and you can't remember a shloka within a day. So again and again, you have to revise those concepts, right? So whenever you are going for your revision, you should make sure that important shlokas are on your tips. So whenever some reference kind of question or some fill in the blank kind of question is coming from shloka, you can remember those shlokas and you can answer those questions easily, right? Then third kind of question, which is coming from Samhitas, is true or false statement, right? So whenever you are going for these kind of questions, there should be some strategies. If you are going for the deep study, you should remember some basic concept of charaka as well as for Shushruta. So whenever you are going for deep study, the basic concepts as per told by your teachers or your guide, like some basic concepts are there which you need to elaborate, which you need to understand. By this understanding only you will be able to do those questions. Okay, then surely repeated questions, like whenever you are going to study Charak Samhita, then there are some points in which you have to make sure that you are doing the comparison between Charaka, between Shushrut, and between Vagpat, right? So whenever you are having some point which is there for comparison, for example, the sthanas of Vat, sthanas of Pit, sthanas of Kaf, so it has been differently stated by different acharyas. So the confusing comparative points are very favorite to the examiner. So you should have to mark those points and you should have to learn those points surely, as these may be a question of your upcoming exams. Okay. Then, as I told you, some repeated questions are there. So, previous year exam paper is very, very, very important. So, as I told you, you are dividing your day. You are giving 3 hours to your Samhita in the morning hours. And whenever you are going to restart your studies, you should have to try for 2 hours minimum for question practice. In these 2 hours, divide your first half hour to provide to the questions which are for the previous year exams. So if you're going to do those questions, you will get an idea that very simple questions are being asked in the exams. But whenever you're going in the exams, there will be some stress in your mind, there will be some other thoughts in your mind, so you couldn't be able to do those small simple questions, right? So just repeat your all previous year question paper for half an hour on a daily basis, and remaining, as I told you, 2 hours you have to give for a question practice, right? So remaining time of your day, remaining time of these 2 hours, you have to dedicate to some random topics for question practice. Whenever you are going to do the question practice of a particular area, you will surely find your weak areas. And these weak areas are there for every person, right? So if you are going to find your weak areas, then there will be a different strategy to proceed towards this weak area, right? So if there is weak area, it means that particular area needs more revision, more evaluation, and more confidence, right? So just find your weak areas by question practice. Make sure it is deep inside your head that you have to practice almost 500 questions a day. Then for just like as I told you, whenever you are studying your samhitas, there should be one strategy. If you are studying, like for example, Charak Sutra Sthan you are studying, so there should be a strategy. Like whenever you are studying, in the end of your study, just close your book and recall all the topics. Like for example, in Charak Sutra 1, important topics, how it is going to be covered, like Ayurveda Avtaran is there, why they had gathered over there, how many rishis are gathered over there. Then Shat Padarth, what's the sequence of Shat Padarth here and in Dravya Guna. Then dhatus are there, tridoshas are there, their guns are there, so that those particular shlokas you can remember. Then deep explanation of dravyas are there. Then Falini and Mulini dravyas are there, right? And Mutra concept is there. So whenever you are going to study one chapter, you should recall it in the end, right? What's the topic and what are the important points? If you are able to revise it up after closing your book, it means you had studied the chapter very well. Okay. And there are some chapters which are very lengthy. So whenever you are going to start, you will be feeling like when it is going to be ended. So you should have to keep in mind that if you are going to start, you should have to finish this up along with a deep study. Okay. So this is all about Charak Samhitas. There are 4 kind of questions. We had discussed it already, and how you're going to proceed towards Charak Samhita. What should be your basic strategy? We had discussed. Then from Shushruta Samhita, if you're talking about Shushruta Samhita, there are some surely important points. Like Shushruta Samhita, I'm not saying you have to go in detail just like Charak. There are some short areas from Shushruta Samhita. For example, Shastra, Yantra, Jaloka, Agni, Kshar, Shariristhan. Shariristhan is very important. Kalpasthan is very important. Then some diseases like Arsha, Ashmari, Bhagandar, Moodgarbha, Balgraha, Yoni Vyapad, and your Shalakya. So these are some short areas which are going to be asked in every exams. So make sure whenever you are studying your Shushruta Samhita, you are revising these concepts on a daily basis or on a repeated basis. Okay. And as I told you, some 20 to 25 questions will be there in your exam directly from Shushruta Samhita. And if we are proceeding towards the last Samhita, there will be some questions from Ashtang as well. But those questions are very short, and if you are going to do the studies for your Charak and Shushrut, there will be some comparative areas which is going to be highlighted over there whenever you are going to study. So those areas are having highest risk of coming into your exams. So those areas you need to revise again and again. And in summarized way, I can say you make sure you are doing, like you are studying properly, you are recalling your process. Then question practice is very must. Revision and questions. This is very must for your strategy. Like whenever you are going to revise, whenever you are doing the question practice, you will be knowing your weak areas. Then don't get distracted. Limit yourself and just talk with all those persons who keeps you motivated. So just don't get distracted and never compare yourself with other people. Just make your own plan and stick to it. Then previous year question papers are very important. Keep sticks with them and just make sure you are doing all those questions. And last is your friendship should be there with your samhitas. In the area of preparation, your samhitas could be your best friends. So just recall them again and again, revise them again and again, and you will be scoring a good almost 60% of your area by doing this friendship with your samhitas only. So keep study and try hard and stay blessed and all the very best. Thank you.